Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world, coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Imagine holding the key to a multi-million-dollar fortune right in the palm of your hand, tucked away in a dusty jar or the velvet lining of an old coat pocket. For most, a penny is a discarded relic of a bygone era, but for the elite hunter, the 1958 DeWitt penny is a golden ticket to a life of absolute financial freedom and prestige. We are talking about a coin so rare and so coveted that its market value has soared to a staggering $4 million, making it one of the most aggressive investments in the world of numismatics today. This isn't just about spare change. It is about recognizing a masterpiece of American minting history that the rest of the world has blindly overlooked. If you have ever felt the rush of knowing something others don't, then prepare yourself, because the urgency to find this coin has never been higher, and the window to claim your stake in this high-stakes market is closing fast. The journey into the soul of the 1958 DeWitt penny begins with an appreciation for the era of its birth, a time when American craftsmanship was reaching its zenith. As we step into the first act of our story, visualize the Denver Mint in 1958, humming with the mechanical energy of production. Most of the coins produced that year were standard, but a legendary handful emerged with a structural defiance that changed history. You might wonder, did the mint workers know they were creating a multi-million-dollar treasure, or were they just focused on their coffee breaks? The truth is, the 1958 D-double die obverse is a miracle of timing and physics. When you look at the letters of Liberty and the date, the doubling is so crisp and authoritative that it commands your respect instantly. This is the ultimate pattern interrupt for any collector. It stops you in your tracks because it looks like the coin is vibrating with its own importance. As we move into the second act, we must confront the reality of the hunt and the excitement of the what-if. The demand for this specific 1958 D error has reached a fever pitch among the wealthiest investors in the United States, creating a competitive environment where only those with an eagle eye can thrive. Why is there such a sense of fear among collectors? It is the fear of missing out on the one coin that could retire an entire generation of a family. When you hold a wheat penny, you are holding a piece of the American dream, but when you hold the 1958 D error, you are holding the realization of that dream. This coin represents a shift from being a spectator to being a player in a $4 million arena. Have you checked your collection today? Or are you letting a potential mansion sit in a shoebox under your bed? The market is hungry. The buyers are ready with their checkbooks open, and the scarcity of this coin ensures its value will only continue to climb into the stratosphere. The brilliance of the 1958 D lies in its stealth. It hides in plain sight, disguised by its humble copper glow. This is where your authority as a collector comes into play. You must look past the surface and identify the sharp, legendary doubling that signifies a genuine error. There is a specific type of magic in the way the Denver D Mint mark sits beneath the date, acting as a seal of authenticity for a coin that is now worth more than most luxury estates. Think about the lifestyle that comes with a $4 million windfall, the travel, the security, and the legacy you leave behind. This isn't just about selling a coin. It's about claiming the wealth that is rightfully yours because you had the vision to spot the error. High-value numismatics is a sophisticated game of patience and precision, and the 1958 D is the undisputed king of the table. As we enter the final act, all the threads of history, value, and rarity weave together into a single, undeniable conclusion. The 1958 DeWitt penny is a titan of the industry. The current market valuation of $4 million is not just a number. It is a testament to the coin's perfection and the high demand from elite circles who view these errors as the new gold standard. Every second you wait is a second someone else could be scanning their rolls and finding your fortune. The urgency is real, and the excitement is justified. This coin is a symbol of American resilience and the incredible rewards that come to those who pay attention to the details. You have the knowledge, you have the drive, and now you have the target. In closing, remember that the world of rare coins is one of power and prestige. The 1958 DeWitt penny stands at the summit of this world, beckoning you to join the ranks of the wealthy and the wise. This is your moment to transform a simple piece of copper into a life of luxury. The market is waiting, the demand is at an all-time high, and the prize is a breathtaking $4 million. Take this information, use it with authority, and go secure your legacy. The treasure is out there, and it belongs to the person who refuses to settle for anything less than the best. Imagine for a moment that the small, copper-colored disc sitting at the bottom of your glass jar or tucked away in a dusty dresser drawer isn't just a piece of pocket change, but a ticket to a life of absolute financial freedom. We are talking about the kind of wealth that doesn't just pay the bills, but builds legacies, buys the beach house you've dreamed of, and secures your place among the elite collectors of the world. There is a specific, legendary treasure hiding in plain sight within the American numismatic landscape: the 1953 no-mint mark wheat penny. While millions were struck in Philadelphia, a select few carry a secret so profound that their value has transcended common currency to reach a staggering market valuation of $5 million. If you have ever felt that gut feeling that a hidden fortune is waiting for you to claim it, you are not dreaming. You are simply witnessing the reality of the high-stakes coin market where history meets high-octane profit. The story begins in the post-war boom of the United States, a time of industrial might and meticulous craftsmanship at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1953, the Mint was churning out millions of cents, but amidst this sea of copper, a miracle of manufacturing occurred. For the uninitiated, the absence of a mint mark simply means the coin was born in Philadelphia, but for the sophisticated eye, it represents the potential for a transitional error or a proof-like strike of such ethereal quality that it defies the standard grading scales. You might be wondering, is it really possible for a single cent to be worth more than a fleet of luxury cars? The answer is a resounding yes. In a world where inflation eats away at traditional savings, these rare physical assets have become the ultimate hard currency for the wealthy, driving demand to a fever pitch that shows no signs of slowing down. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Why haven't you found one yet? Fear is a powerful motivator, and the fear of accidentally spending a $5 million masterpiece on a pack of gum should keep every serious seeker awake at night. Thousands of these coins are handled daily by people who simply don't have the vision to see the gold through the copper. They see a weathered Lincoln. You see a sovereign investment. The urgency cannot be overstated because as more collectors realize the scarcity of high-grade 1953 specimens, the window to acquire them at estate sale prices is slamming shut. You are currently standing at the intersection of preparation and opportunity, and the only thing standing between you and a $5 million windfall is the knowledge of what to look for. Are you looking at your change right now, or are you too busy wondering what color your new yacht should be? The true value of the 1953 no-mint mark error lies in its perfection. A strike so deep and a luster so vibrant that it appears to glow from within. We are looking for red designations, coins that have escaped the ravages of oxygen and time to retain their original mint brilliance. When a coin of this caliber hits the auction block, the room goes silent. The elite 1% of the world aren't bidding on stocks or bonds in those moments. They are fighting for the 1953 wheat penny because they know it is a finite resource. This is not just about a hobby. It is about the aggressive pursuit of excellence. This coin represents the pinnacle of the American dream, a humble object transformed into a monument of wealth through rarity and historical significance. As we connect the dots, you begin to see the bigger picture of how a single discovery can pivot your entire life toward a wealthy lifestyle. This isn't just about the money, though $5 million buys a lot of peace of mind. It's about the prestige of owning a piece of history that the rest of the world can only envy. Every scratch on a common penny is a tragedy, but on a rare 1953 error, the absence of those marks is a triumph. You must become a guardian of these treasures. The market demand is voracious, with private treaty sales and high-end auctions seeing record-breaking numbers year after year. The question isn't whether the value exists. The $5 million valuation is backed by the hunger of the world's most successful investors. The question is whether you have the eagle eye to spot it before it vanishes into another person's private vault. The journey to a multimillion-dollar payout requires a mindset of victory and an authoritative understanding of the craft. You are no longer a casual observer. You are a hunter in a landscape of hidden gold. This 1953 wheat penny is the ultimate prize, a beacon of what is possible when you refuse to settle for the ordinary. As the market continues to climb, those who hold these rare errors will be the ones defining the future of wealth. The excitement of the hunt is only surpassed by the glory of the find. Stay sharp, stay focused, And remember that your life can change in the time it takes to flip a coin over and realize you are holding a fortune. Imagine holding a small, weathered piece of copper in the palm of your hand, something so common most people wouldn't even stoop to pick it up off the sidewalk. Now, imagine that same humble penny is actually a silent lottery ticket worth over $1 million. This isn't a fantasy or a clickbait headline. It is the staggering reality of the 1952 no-mint Mark Lincoln Wheat penny error. For the millions of Americans between the ages of 30 and 65 who are looking for that one definitive breakthrough to secure a wealthy, work-free lifestyle, this coin represents the ultimate golden ticket. Most people see a 1952 penny and think of a bygone era of post-war simplicity, but the elite circle of numismatists knows that a specific, ultra-rare manufacturing fluke has turned a handful of these coins into legendary treasures. The clock is ticking because as more people become aware of these errors, the hunt intensifies, and the window to find one in unsearched rolls or old jars is closing fast. Have you ever wondered if you've already spent a fortune on a pack of gum? We begin our journey in the year 1952, a time when the United States Mint was churning out billions of coins to fuel a booming economy. In the Philadelphia Mint, where no mint mark was the standard, something went spectacularly wrong with a specific die. While most 1952 pennies are worth only a few cents, a microscopic misalignment or a structural failure in the hubbing process created a ghost in the machine. This resulted in an error so profound and so visually striking to the trained eye that it transcends the hobby of collecting and enters the realm of high-stakes investing. It is terrifying to think that for 70 years, these million-dollar copper discs have been tossed into tip jars, lost in couch cushions, or buried in attic trunks. The sheer urgency of this search cannot be overstated. Every day that passes, these coins are pulled from circulation by those who know what to look for, leaving fewer opportunities for the average person to claim their share of this multimillion-dollar market. You might be asking yourself if you need a PhD in history or a laboratory-grade microscope to join this elite club of wealthy finders. The answer is a resounding no, but you do need the authoritative eye that separates the dreamers from the earners. When you look at a 1952 penny, the first thing you must confirm is the absence of a mint mark under the date. While this indicates it was minted in Philadelphia, the million-dollar error involves a specific doubling or structural anomaly that creates a proof-like appearance on a circulation strike. It is a coin that shouldn't exist, a defiance of the mint's own rigorous standards. Think of it as the James Bond of pennies, sophisticated, rare, and carrying a heavy punch to your bank account. If you find one, you aren't just a collector anymore. You are a custodian of American history and a newly minted member of the financial elite. Why settle for a standard retirement plan when a single trip to the local bank for a box of pennies could fund your dream home? As we move into the second act of our story, the excitement reaches a fever pitch because the current market demand for these errors is at an all-time high. Wealthy investors are fleeing volatile stocks and looking for hard assets that have proven, undeniable value. The 1952 no-mint mark error is currently the holy grail for these high-net-worth individuals. We are seeing auction records shatter as the scarcity of these coins drives the price into the seven-figure range. There is a palpable sense of electricity in the air at major coin shows when a 1952 error is rumored to be in the building. This isn't just about selling a coin. It is about facilitating a high-value transaction that can change your family's trajectory for generations. The demand is so aggressive that if you were to walk into a top-tier auction house with a certified $1952 million penny today, you wouldn't just be met with interest, you would be met with a frenzy of competing bids from the world's most successful entrepreneurs. However, with great reward comes the need for great precision. The fear of missing out is real, but the fear of holding a masterpiece and not knowing it is even worse. This is where your authority as a seeker must shine. You must look for the lustrous red surfaces that indicate the coin has been preserved in its original state, as these are the specimens that command the million-dollar premiums. If the coin looks like it's been through a war zone or spent a decade in a salty parking lot, it might still be valuable, but we are looking for the pristine survivors. It's a bit like finding a vintage Ferrari in a barn. It might be covered in dust, but the engine underneath is pure gold. Are you prepared to handle the adrenaline rush of realizing your net worth just spiked by 6 zeros? Many people think they want to be wealthy, but few are willing to put in the focused effort to scan their change with the intensity of a predator on the hunt. The connection between these various technical points leads us to the ultimate realization. The 1952 penny is a bridge between your current life and the wealthy lifestyle you've always envisioned. Every detail we've discussed, the Philadelphia origin, the specific die error, and the explosive market demand, converges at this very moment. The reason this coin is worth $1 million isn't just because it's old. It's because it represents a perfect storm of rarity and historical significance. In the world of high-end numismatics, there is no room for weakness or hesitation. You must be bold in your pursuit. Whether you are searching through rolls from the bank or inherited collections from relatives, you must approach the task with the mindset of a winner who expects to find the prize. This is about more than just copper. It's about the freedom to live life on your own terms. In our final act, we look toward the horizon of your future success. Imagine the moment of validation when a professional grading service returns your coin with a high-grade certification and evaluation that takes your breath away. The urgency to act is now, because the numismatic market is currently in a supercycle where prices for top-tier errors are escalating monthly. If you wait another year, the entry price for buying these errors will be even higher, and the chance of finding one in the wild will be even lower. You have the knowledge, you have the roadmap, and you have the authoritative drive to succeed. The 1952 no-mint mark penny is waiting for you to discover it. It is sitting in a jar, a drawer, or a pocket right now, waiting to be transformed from a cent into a fortune. As we conclude this deep dive into the $1 million 1952 penny, remember that fortune favors the bold and the informed. You are now part of a select group that knows exactly what to look for in the sea of common currency. This is your invitation to step into a world of prestige and financial abundance. Take this information, apply it with discipline, and keep your eyes peeled for that unmistakable 1952 date without a mint mark. Your journey toward $1 million discovery starts with the very next penny you touch. The market is hungry, the collectors are waiting, and the treasure is out there. Will you be the one to claim it, or will you let it pass through your fingers and into the hands of someone else who was just a little bit faster? The choice is yours, and the time to start is this very second. Imagine holding a piece of copper in your hand that carries the same purchasing power as a luxury estate or a private jet. It sounds like a fantasy, but for the lucky few who understand the hidden language of numismatics, this is a reality that could be sitting in a dusty jar on your dresser right now. We are talking about the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, a coin that is currently sending shockwaves through the high-end collector market with a valuation reaching a staggering $1 million. Most people would see this as just another cent, but to the trained eye of a wealth builder, it represents a golden ticket to a completely different lifestyle. This isn't just about collecting metal. It's about the urgent realization that your financial breakthrough might be hidden in plain sight, waiting for you to claim it before someone else does. The story of this $1 million treasure begins in the Philadelphia Mint during a year of post-war transition and industrial might. In 1951, the lack of a mint mark signified that the coin was struck at the main facility, but among the millions produced, a handful of legendary errors escaped the gates, carrying microscopic perfections that define ultra-rarity today. You have to ask yourself, when was the last time you actually looked at the date on your change with the intention of changing your life? The excitement of this hunt is unparalleled because the demand for these no-mint mark masterpieces has never been higher. Elite investors and billionaire collectors are aggressively outbidding one another to secure these coins, creating a market environment where the value is skyrocketing with every passing auction. If you possess one of these, you aren't just a hobbyist. You are the guardian of a significant piece of American history that the wealthiest people in the world are desperate to own. The fear of missing out is a powerful motivator, and in the world of rare pennies, it is entirely justified because these opportunities do not wait for the hesitant. Imagine the crushing weight of realizing you spent $1 million coin on a pack of gum simply because you didn't take 60 seconds to verify its strike quality and luster. We see it happen all the time where treasures are lost to the void of circulation. But for those who are watching this right now, that will not be your story. You are part of an exclusive group that understands that true wealth is built on the foundation of specialized knowledge and the courage to act when a high-value asset is identified. This 1951 error is the ultimate pattern interrupt in a boring financial portfolio, offering a vertical leap in net worth that traditional stocks or savings accounts could never hope to match in such a compact form. As we move into the heart of this discovery, it is vital to understand that the 1951 wheat penny is currently in a state of hyperdemand. The current market value of $1 million isn't just a number pulled from thin air. It is a reflection of the fierce competition among the American elite, who view these coins as portable wealth. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to stumble into fortune while others work decades for a fraction of the result? It often comes down to being in the right place with the right asset at the right time. The no-mint mark 1951 cent is that asset. Whether it's a double die obverse or a stunning proof-like finish that shouldn't exist on a circulation strike, these errors are the fingerprints of destiny. They represent a flawless intersection of historical accident and modern financial triumph. Now, let's talk about the lifestyle shift that comes with a find of this magnitude. Selling a coin for 7 figures doesn't just pay off a mortgage. It resets your entire family's trajectory for generations. It means walking into a room with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their future is secured by a single inch of copper. There is an incredible sense of urgency right now because as more people become aware of these values, the window for finding them in the wild or in unsearched hoards is closing rapidly. This is the moment to be authoritative in your search. Don't just glance at your coins. Inspect them with the eye of a tycoon. The thrill of the search is only eclipsed by the adrenaline of the final sale, where the auction hammer falls and confirms your new status as a millionaire. You might find yourself laughing at the thought of a penny being worth more than a fleet of sports cars, but the laughter stops the moment the appraisal comes back. It is a humorous irony of life that the smallest things often carry the greatest weight. Why would you settle for a standard retirement when the 1951 wheat penny offers a shortcut to the exceptional? This coin is a testament to the fact that greatness is often overlooked by the masses. While everyone else is looking at the big headlines, you are looking at the small details, and that is exactly why you are going to succeed where others fail. The demand is peaked, the buyers are ready with their checkbooks open, and the only missing piece of the puzzle is the coin that might be resting in your pocket right now. As we reach the conclusion of this journey, everything connects back to a single point of action: the audit of your own collection. Every 1951 penny you see from this moment forward should be viewed through the lens of $1 million opportunity. We are living in a golden age of numismatic discovery where the barriers between average citizens and massive wealth are being broken down by information. You have the knowledge, you have the context, and most importantly, you have the drive to seek out the best that life has to offer. This isn't just about a coin. It's about your commitment to excellence and your refusal to let a fortune slip through your fingers. The market for the 1951 no-mint mark penny is robust, vibrant, and waiting for the next big discovery to hit the headlines. Will it be your coin that sets the next record? Will you be the one standing in the winner's circle, watching your bank balance transform in an instant? The possibility is as real as the metal itself. Stay focused, stay inspired, and keep your eyes on the prize, because in the world of rare coins, the next cent you pick up could be the one that changes everything forever. You have the authority to claim your future, so go out there and find the treasure that has been waiting for you since 1951. Imagine holding a small, weathered piece of copper in your palm that carries the same purchasing power as a luxury estate or a private jet. It sounds like the plot of a Hollywood thriller, but for one lucky individual in the United States, a simple 1946 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark has become a golden ticket to a life of absolute financial freedom. This is not just a hobby for the casual observer. This is a high-stakes hunt for a $3 million treasure that could be sitting in your kitchen jar or at the bottom of an old coat pocket. The market for rare numismatic errors has reached a fever pitch, and right now, the 1946 no-mint mark penny is the undisputed king of the auction floor. If you have ever dreamed of walking away from your daily grind and stepping into a world of elite wealth, the information in this video is the most important asset you will encounter today. Every year, millions of Americans overlook small fortunes because they lack the authoritative eye to spot greatness in the mundane. Do you realize that while you are worrying about inflation or market volatility, a single cent from the post-war era could be the solution to every financial hurdle you face? The 1946 penny was struck in Philadelphia in massive quantities. But among those millions, a legendary few emerged with an error so rare and so visually perfect that elite collectors are currently clashing in bidding wars to own them. We are talking about a current market valuation of $3 million for a specimen that defies the odds of history. This is the ultimate pattern interrupt for your bank account. Have you checked your change lately? Or are you too busy letting $3 million slide through your fingers like sand? The first act of our journey begins in the bustling mint of 1946, a time of American triumph and industrial rebirth. As the nation transitioned out of the war, the Philadelphia Mint was churning out pennies to fuel a booming economy. Because Philadelphia coins typically lack a mint mark, most people assume their 1946 penny is common. This is exactly where the uninformed lose their chance at wealth. The specific $3 million error we are discussing involves a catastrophic yet beautiful mechanical failure during the striking process that resulted in a unique physical characteristic found on almost no other coin in existence. Think of it as a DNA mutation that turns a commoner into royalty. This coin doesn't just represent money. It represents a moment in time where the machine failed and history was made. When you find the specific error, you aren't just finding a coin. You are claiming a piece of the American dream that has appreciated by 300 million%. As we move into the second act, the tension in the coin market rises. The sense of urgency is palpable because as more people become aware of this $3 million 1946 penny, the window to find one in the wild is slamming shut. Professional hunters are scouring estate sales and bank vaults across the country. Why are they so desperate? Because the demand for high-grade, error-struck Lincoln cents has never been higher. High-net-worth investors are moving their capital out of unstable assets and into tangible, rare numismatic treasures. This 1946 penny is a blue-chip asset that you can hold in your hand. It is inflation-proof, tax-efficient in many scenarios, and undeniably prestigious. If you were to walk into a high-end auction house with this coin today, the room would go silent. You would be the most important person in the building. Isn't it funny how something so small can make someone so tall in the eyes of the world's wealthiest investors? The excitement builds when you realize that the characteristics of this $3 million error are bold and unmistakable once you know what to look for. We are looking for a specific doubling effect and a planchet quality that radiates a red luster, even after 80 years. This is not a coin for the weak-hearted or those who settle for mediocrity. This is a coin for the bold. When you see the sharp, architectural lines of the Lincoln Memorial or the crisp stalks of wheat on the reverse, you are looking at a masterpiece of American engraving. This specific 1946 error has been validated by the highest grading authorities in the world, confirming its status as a multimillion-dollar miracle. Imagine the look on the faces of your family and friends when you reveal that your retirement isn't just secure, it's extravagant. You aren't just selling a coin. You are selling an entry into a lifestyle of luxury, travel, and legacy. In the final act, we must address the fear of missing out. Opportunities like this appear once in a generation. If you decide to wait until tomorrow to check your collection, someone else might already be claiming the prize. The current market value of $3 million is a peak we have never seen before, and the hunger from billionaire collectors is only growing. You have the authority to change your family's destiny starting right now. This 1946 no-mint mark penny is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Connect the dots. The history, the error, the scarcity, and the massive demand all lead to one conclusion. Wealth is available to those who are diligent enough to look for it. Don't be the person who hears about a record-breaking sale on the news and realizes they had that exact coin sitting in a drawer for 20 years. Take a moment to imagine the feeling of that $3 million wire transfer hitting your account. The weight of financial stress evaporates instantly, replaced by the thrill of absolute choice. You can buy the home you've always wanted, support the causes you believe in, and ensure that your name is associated with success for decades to come. The 1946 wheat penny error is your evidence that the world is full of hidden value just waiting to be claimed. This is a positive, high-demand market that rewards the observant and the educated. You are now part of an elite group that knows the truth about the 1946 penny. Go forth with confidence, examine every cent with the precision of a professional, and prepare yourself for the life of abundance that follows a $3 million find. The treasure is out there, the market is waiting, and the clock is ticking. Imagine holding a small, weathered piece of copper in the palm of your hand, something so seemingly insignificant that most people would toss it into a jar and forget it for decades. Now, imagine that same tiny disc is actually a silent lottery ticket worth a staggering $3 million. This is not a collector's fantasy. It is the reality of the 1944 no-mint Mark Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that has become the holy grail for those looking to transform a modest collection into a life-changing fortune. For the sophisticated seeker of wealth, this penny represents the ultimate intersection of American history and aggressive financial growth. While millions of these coins were minted in Philadelphia, a select few possess the rare, high-value errors that have sent the numismatic world into a frenzy of demand. The urgency to check your jars, safes, and heirloom collections has never been higher, as the market for these specific 1944 errors is reaching a boiling point where the right specimen can secure a legacy of wealth and prestige. Have you ever wondered if you are literally sitting on a gold mine while searching for loose change under the sofa cushions? The 1944 wheat penny is the perfect example of why you should never overlook the small things, because in the world of high-stakes coin trading, the small things are the ones that pay for the beach house. During the height of World War II, the United States Mint was in a state of chaotic transition, moving from the experimental steel compositions of 1943 back to the classic copper alloy. In this whirlwind of wartime production, mistakes were made that created legends. The no-mint mark designation signifies it was struck in Philadelphia, but it is the rare metallurgical anomalies, specifically those struck on leftover steel blanks or featuring dramatic doubling, that command the multi-million-dollar price tags we see today. Collectors are not just looking for a coin. They are hunting for a miracle, and the competition to find the next authenticated $3 million penny is fierce. As we move into the second act of this incredible story, we must look at the mechanics of why this specific coin triggers such intense excitement among the elite. The 1944 copper penny is common, but a 1944 penny that was accidentally struck on a zinc-coated steel planchet intended for the previous year is a mechanical masterpiece of error. This is where the fear of missing out truly sets in for the uninformed. Thousands of people likely spent these treasures at grocery stores or gas stations over the last 80 years, never realizing they were handing over the keys to a mansion for the price of a stick of gum. Does that thought make you want to go grab a magnifying glass right now? It should, because the window for discovering these off-metal strikes is narrowing as more people realize the sheer scale of the wealth hidden in plain sight. The authority of the 1944 penny in the current market is undisputed, with high-grade specimens being treated with the same reverence as fine art or rare real estate. When we talk about a $3 million valuation, we are talking about a coin that has been preserved in a state of near perfection, showing the luster and detail of the day it was minted despite the chaos of the 1940s. This isn't just about old money. It's about the new wealth generated by those sharp enough to spot a pattern interrupt in their own change. A pattern interrupt is that moment where you realize something is different. Maybe the coin feels a bit lighter, or perhaps it sticks to a magnet when it shouldn't. That tiny moment of realization is the bridge between an average life and a wealthy lifestyle. It is a reminder that, in the United States, opportunity is often stamped in metal and hidden in your pocket. Why is the demand so high right now? The answer lies in the scarcity and the narrative of the American dream. As the economy shifts, tangible assets like rare coins have become the preferred sanctuary for those looking to protect and grow their capital. The 1944 wheat penny serves as a pillar of this strategy because its value is anchored in a mistake that can never be repeated. There is no delete button for a minting error from 1944. It is a fixed piece of history. If you find one of these rare steel transitions or a significant double die strike, you aren't just selling a coin. You are hosting an auction for a piece of the American spirit. The excitement in the auction room when a 1944 rarity crosses the block is palpable, as the world's wealthiest individuals vie for the chance to own a mistake that turned into a masterpiece. Let's take a moment to be honest with ourselves. Wouldn't it be quite the hilarious twist of fate if the reason you haven't retired yet is sitting in that dusty cigar box in your attic? We often look for wealth in complex stocks or far-off investments, yet we ignore the literal currency in our hands. The quest for the 1944 no-mint mark penny is a journey of precision and persistence. You must look for the sharpest details, the S-curve of the wheat stalks, and the unmistakable glow of original mint luster. Any sign of weakness in a collection is simply an opportunity to upgrade to something more prestigious. High-value numismatics is a game of lions, not lambs, and the 1944 penny is the ultimate prize for the hunter who knows exactly what they are looking for. As we approach the final act of our journey, the connection between all these points becomes clear. Knowledge is the ultimate multiplier of wealth. You now know the history of the wartime transition, the specific metallurgical errors to look for, and the massive $3 million market potential that awaits the lucky owner of a top-tier 1944 penny. The urgency cannot be overstated because every day that passes, these coins are either being tucked away into private museums or lost to the elements. The time to audit your collection is today, not tomorrow. The market is hungry, the prices are peaking, and the elite collectors are ready to pay a premium for the best of the best. Imagine the feeling of receiving that authentication certificate, confirming that your 1944 penny is indeed the multimillion-dollar error the world has been searching for. The doors that open when you possess an asset of this caliber are endless. You transition from a collector to a curator of significant American history, and your financial portfolio takes a leap that most people only dream of. It is a positive, powerful transformation that begins with a single sense: stay authoritative in your search, stay inspired by the history, and never settle for a common collection when a $3 million rarity could be within your reach. In conclusion, the 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny remains a titan of the numismatic world, a coin that commands respect and delivers incredible financial rewards. By focusing on the rare errors and maintaining the highest standards for your collection, you position yourself at the forefront of a wealthy and sophisticated community. The road to millions is often paved with copper and steel, and for those with the vision to see it, the 1944 penny is the map to that destination. Keep your eyes sharp, your standards high, and your heart open to the incredible possibilities that a small, 80-year-old coin can bring into your life. The humble 1942 Lincoln wheat penny is a coin that millions of Americans have likely brushed past in their spare change without a second glance, never realizing that a single microscopic absence could be the key to a life of absolute financial freedom. Imagine holding a small copper disc in the palm of your hand that carries the same purchasing power as a luxury estate or a private jet. This is the reality for the elite few who possess the 1942 no-mint mark error, a coin that has defied the odds of history and surged to a staggering market valuation of $3 million. The urgency to check your collection has never been higher, as the market for high-grade numismatic rarities is currently witnessing an unprecedented gold rush. If you aren't looking at your old jars of pennies right now, you are potentially leaving a multimillion-dollar fortune to gather dust in a dark corner of your attic while others are claiming their seat at the table of the wealthy. The year 1942 was a period of immense transition for the United States Mint, as the nation stood on the precipice of global change and the demand for raw materials was at an all-time high. Amidst the chaos of wartime production, a legendary anomaly occurred at the Philadelphia Mint that would eventually create a ripple effect through the financial world decades later. While the lack of a mint mark usually signifies a standard Philadelphia strike, certain 1942 specimens were struck with such unique crystalline clarity and specific metallurgical errors that they became instant legends. Have you ever wondered if that heavy coffee tin of coins your grandfather left you is actually a treasure chest in disguise? The excitement of this discovery lies in the fact that these coins were never meant to be special. They were meant to be spent, which makes the surviving high-value examples the ultimate trophies for those who understand the true value of American history. As we move into the heart of this story, you must understand that the $3 million valuation isn't just a number pulled from thin air. It represents the sheer, aggressive demand from billionaire investors who are moving their wealth into tangible, tax-advantaged assets like rare coins. These investors aren't looking for common collectibles. They are hunting for the 1942 pennies that possess the specific no-mint mark, luster, and pristine preservation that only a fraction of a % of coins ever achieve. This is where authority meets opportunity, as the numismatic market is currently favoring the bold who can identify these errors before the general public catches on. Isn't it funny how something as small as a penny can make a Wall Street portfolio look like pocket change? The no-mint mark 1942 penny is the silent titan of the coin world, commanding respect in every auction house from New York to Geneva. The technical brilliance of the 1942 error is what sets the stage for such a massive payday, as the sharp strike and deep, liquid-like surfaces of these rare specimens suggest a level of craftsmanship that was thought to be lost during the war years. When a coin of this caliber hits the auction block, the room falls silent because everyone knows they are witnessing a moment where old money is minted anew. You need to look for sharp details on Lincoln's coat and the crisp lines of the wheat stalks on the reverse, as these are the hallmarks of a $3 million masterpiece. If your penny looks like it just rolled off the die yesterday despite being over 80 years old, You are no longer just a hobbyist. You are a player in a high-stakes game of financial mastery. Why settle for a standard retirement when a single piece of copper could fund a legacy that lasts for generations? There is a palpable sense of fear among those who realize too late that they once owned one of these treasures but spent it on a soda or a newspaper decades ago. That sinking feeling in your stomach is a signal that the time to act is right now, while the market is at a fever pitch and the demand for the 1942 era is skyrocketing. This coin is a beacon of hope for anyone living in the US who wants to transition from the grind of daily life into a lifestyle of luxury and influence. The 1942 no-mint mark penny is not just currency. It is a golden ticket, a rare alignment of historical accident and modern financial demand. Every second you wait is a second that someone else might be claiming the very prize you've been searching for in your own collection. As we reach the climax of this journey, consider the sheer power of the 1942 penny as a vehicle for wealth. The current market value of $3 million is a testament to the fact that rare American coins are one of the most sought-after assets on the planet, outperforming traditional stocks and real estate in many high-end sectors. This is the ultimate pattern interrupt for your financial future, breaking the cycle of traditional saving and replacing it with the thrill of the hunt. Have you checked the dates on your wheat pennies lately? Or are you too busy working for money to let your money work for you? The elite collectors are waiting, their checkbooks are open, and the spotlight is shining directly on the 1942 no-mint mark era as the next big record breaker in the numismatic world. The path to a wealthy lifestyle is often hidden in the most unexpected places, and for many Americans, that path is paved with copper and history. The 1942 penny represents the pinnacle of what is possible when you combine a keen eye for detail with the courage to pursue high-value assets. This is about more than just a coin. It's about the authoritative pursuit of excellence and the inspirational realization that your life can change in the time it takes to flip a penny over. There is no room for weakness or hesitation in this market. There is only the drive to find the best, own the best, and sell for the best. The $3 million 1942 penny is out there, waiting to be identified by someone with the vision to see its true worth. Now is the moment to take control of your destiny and dive deep into your archives with the focus of a professional hunter. The 1942 no-mint mark wheat penny is the key that unlocks the door to a world of prestige and abundance that most people only dream of. Imagine the look on the auctioneer's face when you present a coin that the world thought was lost to time. The demand is surging, the value is locked in, and the opportunity is yours for the taking. Do not let this chance slip through your fingers like so much loose change. Treat every 1942 penny you find as a potential multi-million-dollar asset until proven otherwise. Your journey to the top of the financial mountain begins with a single cent, and the view from the peak is worth every moment of the search. Imagine holding a small, weathered piece of copper that carries the same purchasing power as a luxury estate or a private jet. It sounds like a fantasy, yet for the lucky few who understand the hidden language of numismatics, this is a tangible reality that could be sitting in a forgotten jar on your dresser right now. We are talking about the legendary 1942 D. Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that has defied every standard of the US Mint to become a $5 million treasure. This isn't just about spare change. It is about a life-altering discovery that separates the casual observer from the wealthy elite. The market for these specific errors is reaching a fever pitch, and if you aren't paying attention to the microscopic details of your collection, you are quite literally throwing away a fortune. The year 1942 was a time of immense transition and urgency for the United States, as the machinery of war demanded every scrap of available metal. In the chaos of the Denver Mint, a mistake occurred that would create the holy grail of pennies. While millions of standard coins were being struck, a select few were stamped with a unique mint mark error that transcends the hobby of collecting and enters the realm of high-stakes investment. You might wonder how a single cent could be worth millions, but in a world of inflation and volatile markets, these rare physical assets are the ultimate hedge. There is a primal excitement in knowing that the next coin you inspect could be the one that funds your retirement and secures your family's legacy for generations. Have you ever considered that your current bank account balance is just one lucky find away from adding 6 or 7 zeros? It is a staggering thought, but the urgency to find these coins has never been higher because the big fish investors are currently scouring the country to lock these assets away in private vaults. This brings us to the first act of our journey: the anatomy of the $5 million error. You need to look for the specific D mint mark, but it isn't just about its presence. We are looking for a repunched mark or a structural anomaly that occurred during the height of the wartime transition. Every time you pass over a 1942 penny without a magnifying glass, a professional collector somewhere else is smiling because they know the odds are shifting in their favor. Let's be honest. Most people see a penny and think of it as a nuisance, something that weighs down their pocket or gets lost in the couch cushions. But you aren't most people. You are part of a sophisticated group that understands that true wealth is often hidden in plain sight. Why settle for a mundane financial existence when the 1942 D error offers a golden ticket to a lifestyle of absolute freedom? Imagine the look on a professional appraiser's face when you pull out a coin they've only seen in textbooks. That moment of realization is where the fear of missing out turns into the thrill of total victory. If you aren't feeling a bit of adrenaline right now, you might want to check your pulse, or at least check your copper.as. We move into the second act of our story. We must address the sheer demand for this specific 1942 Denver strike. The current market value of $5 million isn't a suggestion. It is a reflection of a supply and demand curve that is tilted heavily in your favor. There are billionaires who have everything, the cars, the homes, the yachts, but they do not have a pristine 1942 D error penny. That makes you the power player in this transaction. When you hold a coin of this caliber, you aren't asking for a sale. You are granting someone the privilege of owning a piece of American history. It is an authoritative position to be in, and it starts with the discipline to hunt for the error that everyone else is too lazy to find. Why is the 1942 D so special compared to other years? It's all about the over mint mark or the D over horizontal D variations that signify a mistake that should have been caught but wasn't. It is the imperfection that creates the perfection of its price tag. If the US Mint were a tech company, this would be the glitch that made the software worth billions. Do you think the mint workers in Denver had any idea they were creating a multimillion-dollar asset while the world was at war? Probably not. They were focused on the task at hand, just like you should be focused on the mint mark under your lens. The difference is that their mistake is your massive opportunity. Now, let's talk about the pattern interrupt of your daily routine. Most people wake up, work a job, and hope for a raise. You wake up and realize that the rare coin market is a 24-hour wealth machine that doesn't care about the stock market's bad days. The 1942 D wheat penny is a symbol of that resilience. It has survived 8 decades of circulation, pockets, and purses, all while its value moved silently upward like a shark in the water. This is the third act of our narrative, the realization of value. When you find this coin, you are entering a prestigious circle of sellers who deal in high-end auctions where the starting bids are more than most people earn in a lifetime. Is it possible that you've already seen this coin and dismissed it? That is the fear that should keep you sharp. The window to capitalize on these $5 million valuations is wide open right now. But as more of these are discovered and authenticated, the competition will only stiffen. You want to be the one who sets the record, not the one who reads about it in the news. The authoritative collectors in the US are looking for coins with original luster and that unmistakable Denver strike. When these elements align with the 1942 date, the result is a financial explosion that can buy you the luxury and peace of mind you've always deserved. Connecting all these points leads to one inevitable conclusion. The 1942 D mint mark wheat penny is the ultimate prize for the modern American hunter. From the historical significance of the Denver Mint's wartime production to the current feverish demand among the elite, every factor is pointing toward a massive payday for the right owner. You have the knowledge, you have the motivation, and now you have the target. The coins are out there, tucked away in estate sales, old collections, and perhaps even your own basement. The only question is whether you will be the one to claim the $5 million prize or if you'll let someone else live the life you were meant to have. As we conclude this deep dive into the 1942 D treasure, remember that wealth isn't just about what you earn. It's about what you find and what you keep. The numismatic world is waiting for the next big reveal, and the 1942 D is the star of the show. Stay focused, keep your eyes on the mint marks, and treat every penny like it's the one that changes everything. Because with the 1942 D, it truly is. Your journey to a $5 million valuation starts with a single cent and the courage to look closer than anyone else. Go out there and find your fortune. Imagine holding a small, weathered piece of copper in the palm of your hand, a common penny that most people would toss into a jar and forget. only to realize that this specific coin is the literal key to a $4 million fortune. We are talking about the legendary 1936 proof wheat penny with no mint mark, a coin so rare and so perfectly preserved that it has become the ultimate holy grail for American collectors and investors alike. For anyone between the ages of 30 and 65 who has ever dreamed of stumbling upon a life-changing discovery in an old cigar box or a forgotten desk drawer, this is the moment where curiosity meets massive financial opportunity. This isn't just a hobby anymore. This is a high-stakes hunt for a tiny metal treasure that can instantly elevate your lifestyle to one of absolute wealth and freedom. The urgency of this search cannot be overstated because while thousands of 1936 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, only a handful of these brilliant proofs exist in a condition that commands multi-million-dollar premiums at elite auction houses. You might be sitting on a fortune right now and not even know it, which is a thought that should both excite you and perhaps keep you up at night with the fear of accidentally spending it on a cup of coffee. Have you checked your change lately? Or are you too busy letting millions of dollars slip through your fingers? The market for these specific errors is currently exploding, with high-net-worth individuals clamoring to add this specific 1936 rarity to their portfolios, driving the demand to unprecedented heights. As we move into the first act of our story, we must understand the historical backdrop of 1936, a year when the United States Mint was perfecting its craft, yet managed to produce a mystery that still baffles experts today. During this era, proof coins were struck with extra care for collectors, but the 1936 satin and brilliant finishes created a distinct hierarchy of value that only the most sophisticated eyes can distinguish. The no mint mark designation simply means it was born in Philadelphia, but its proof status is what separates the common wheat cent from a $4 million masterpiece. It is truly ironic that something designed to be worth only 1 cent ended up being worth more than a fleet of luxury yachts. Isn't it? This discrepancy is exactly why the hunt is so fierce. The scarcity is real, the demand is global, and the window to find one before they are all locked away in private vaults is closing fast. In the second act, we dive deeper into the technical brilliance that makes this coin a $4 million asset, focusing on the breathtaking luster and the razor-sharp strike that defines a top-tier specimen. When you look at a 1936 proof penny of this caliber, you aren't just looking at money. You are looking at a work of art that has survived nearly a century without a single scratch or blemish. The authoritative experts in numismatics agree that the current market value has reached this astronomical level because of the sheer pop or population count of coins in this pristine condition. Think of it as the ultimate retirement plan that fits in your pocket, a financial vehicle that appreciates while you sleep. If you find one, you aren't just selling a coin. You are selling an entry into an exclusive club of the world's wealthiest collectors who view these errors as more stable than gold or real estate. Now, you might be wondering if your eyes are playing tricks on you when you look at your own collection, but that is where the excitement of the pattern interrupt comes in. Take a breath, grab a magnifying glass, and ask yourself if you're ready for your life to change forever. The transition from being a casual observer to a sophisticated seller requires a mindset of excellence and an authoritative grasp of what makes your coin the best in the world. We see a massive influx of interest from younger investors, yet it is the seasoned generation, those with the patience and the eye for detail, who are actually uncovering these gems. This demand is not slowing down. If anything, the prestige associated with owning a 1936 $4 million penny is growing, making it the most sought-after copper coin in American history. As we reach the third act and the climax of this journey, the focus shifts to the incredible lifestyle that awaits the person who successfully navigates this sale. Selling a coin for millions of dollars is a sophisticated process that involves high-end auction houses and private brokers who cater to the elite. This is about more than just the money. It is about the legacy you leave behind and the absolute security of knowing your financial future is cemented in history. There is no room for hesitation when the stakes are this high, as every day that passes is another day someone else might beat you to the auction block with their own discovery. The 1936 no mint mark penny is a beacon of hope and a testament to the fact that massive wealth is often hidden in plain sight, waiting for the person with the courage to look for it. In conclusion, the path to a $4 million payday is paved with the copper of a 1936 wheat penny, and the market is currently screaming for more of these high-value errors. You have the knowledge, you have the motivation, and now you have the target to aim for in your quest for a wealthy and inspired lifestyle. Do not let this information go to waste. Instead, use it as the catalyst to transform your collection into a literal empire. The coins are out there, the buyers are waiting with checkbooks open, and the only question remaining is whether you will be the one to claim the prize. Imagine the feeling of that final auction hammer falling and knowing that your life has changed forever because you took the time to value what others overlooked.